Hey, this is Mike Renoir, Northwest Fight Scene, nwfightscene.com. I'm here a week out from Drew Brokenshire's fight with Chiron Spain, Rumble the Ridge 24. Drew, man, how you feeling a week out?
I'm feeling real good. I had a good workout this morning with my coach Trevor Jackson, and we were working on some good things, and I'm ready to fight Chiron for a second time. It'll be fun.
All right. Now, you fought him before, once a few years ago, and you finished him.
Yes.
What's that like, fighting a guy that you fought before?
I mean, it's no real difference than fighting somebody else. Obviously, we have some knowledge of each other, and the biggest thing I find is if you've already beaten somebody is making sure that you don't underestimate him. It's like, oh, I beat him before, so it'll be easy to beat him again. That's not the case. Chiron's always going to be tough, and he's a scrappy guy, so I got to make sure my head's on right and go in there and fight the best fight I can in order to come out victorious.
Sure, and that was a long time ago. You guys are both different fighters today. I mean, 3 years on. So now he turned pro back pretty much right after that fight, or a couple fights after that, and so he's got maybe, I don't know, 14, 15 pro fights. This is only your third pro fight. Mm-hmm. Do you think that's going to make any difference?
I don't think so. I think I'm acclimated well now to the to fighting 5-minute rounds. The last fight I had, I put on a pretty good pace for just about 3 rounds, and I think I've acclimated well to it. And 5-minute rounds isn't a problem for me.
Okay, now Rumble on the Ridge, real good stage, real good place to have fights. I was watching actually before I came out to the fights tonight here. They did a replay, and Gray Maynard was talking to Gray Maynard after the fights there, and they asked him who'd he liked, and he made specific mention of you, Drew Brokenshire. A lot of real good movement. What's that like, getting accolades from a guy like Gray Maynard?
It's cool, I mean, I see all those guys just as another guy. He's a fighter just like me. Obviously, he's further up in his career and doing great things, and he has a lot of experience, so it's good to get noticed by someone like that. But I've trained with a lot of UFC fighters, and I know how the disparity between the low-level pro and the high-level pro isn't huge, so I don't see them as like gods or anything, but they are definitely some of the best in the world, and they deserve to be respected.
Okay, now you're training at a lot of different places now. Talk about everywhere that you're training at.
Well, I teach at West Coast Fight Team and the Academy of Brian Johnson, and I also train at both. And I also train at Pinnacle Martial Arts with Eric Larson and a bunch of guys there every Friday. So it's nice being able to have a bunch of different training partners and a bunch of different outlooks on fighting. It kind of just makes this big stew of fighting knowledge, and I'm able to grasp things that I might not have gotten being only at one place.
Sure, but you're putting a lot of miles in your car, I bet.
Exactly, yeah. Definitely, I gotta do some work on it this weekend.
Now, are you working at all, or are you just training full time?
I'm training full time. I train in the mornings. That's when I get my real hard workout in, and then I'm teaching in the evenings, and obviously getting a little bit of training then as well.
Sure. Now, you came into this game, started fighting as an amateur. How old are you when you started fighting?
Probably about 20. Yeah, maybe 21. So I'm 25 going on 26. I've been fighting for about 5 or 6 years.
So what got you into the sport?
My brother Bobby, he started fighting at AMC, and he wrestled in college. He wrestled his whole life, and he started fighting, and I started helping him out while I was going to college at Highline Community College and wrestling there. And I'd help him train, and then I kind of met all the guys from AMC and just kind of fell right into it and fell in love with the sport and trained with those guys for 5 years, and now I've kind of moved on, and I'm training at different places, but I still am in contact with a lot of my old friends from AMC.
Sure, Highline's been a real good place. A lot of good fighters have come out of Highline Community College.
Yeah, it's the only place that you can wrestle now in college around here, so UW and POU don't have programs, so Highline's kind of the source that everybody kind of flocks to for wrestling, so it's definitely nice to have it close by in the state.
All right. Well, you got any sponsors for this fight coming up? Anyone you need to thank?
Well, I want to thank Universal, universalembassy.com. Definitely want to thank the Academy of Brian Johnson, West Coast Fight Team for always being there and supporting me and, giving me great training partners. want to thank, my family, my friends, and definitely thank all my training partners for all the time they put in to get me ready.
All right. Well, you heard it here. Drew Brokenshire fighting next week, June 16th.
Yep,
Rumble to Ridge 24th, Snoqualmie Casino against Sharon, Spain at 145 pounds. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.